Hello there friends, Debbie here with Debbie Gets Crafty. I dug up this Norman Rockwell Marbles Champion partial that I got from, it's a Diamond Dots that I got a while ago from Michael's, or maybe it was Joann's, I don't recall. But anyway, I had it almost done, but I still have a little bit more to do right here. And I thought I would do a little bit of a whip and chat today. And so we're going to get started. Now it is upside down because it is easier for me to work on while it's upside down. And so I'm going to be working on this young man's hair right here. So we'll go ahead and zoom in a little bit. And maybe not. Okay, so we're going to zoom out just a little bit and you'll see what you can see. I'm not going to really mess around with the camera too much. I do have the plastic protective sheet over here just wadded up a little bit because this was a little bit of an last minute thing that I wanted to do. But it's a really pretty picture. I love Norman Rockwell, and so now you'll hear me eating my cereal this morning too because I am having my breakfast while I do this, so please pardon me for one moment. I want to take a spoonful of cereal. Sorry. Okay, so let's get started. Put some release paper down, and my drills, and my pen, and here we go. How are you all doing today? Any day that I get to visit with my friends, it's a win. It's a plus. I'm so close to this being done that I wanted to finish it because I want to hang it in my office. I absolutely love Norman Rockwell. My love of Norman Rockwell stemmed from when I was about 16 years old. I've always loved Norman Rockwell for as long as I could remember, but when I was 16 years old, I worked at a local pharmacy as a cashier. And in this pharmacy, they had a little display case with little gifts that you could get. And just little knickknacks and bric-a-brac and stuff. And there was this little mug in this display case, and it looked like an old sailor, like a retired sailor, an old man, and a young boy. He was standing next to a young boy with his arm around him, almost like it was a grandfather and a grandchild, standing on a dock looking out to the sea. And you could almost feel like that grandfather was standing there telling his grandson all about his time on the seas. He was dressed in, he had like a jacket on and a hat, like it was a Navy hat and a Navy jacket, but back in the day. And you could just tell he was just standing there reminiscing to his grandson, telling him all his stories about when he was in the Navy. And my dad was in the Navy, and I loved that little mug. I mean, I would go, every time I went to work, I would always look at that mug. And I think it was Father's Day or his birthday, I actually got that mug for my dad, and he loved it and cherished it. That was my very first piece of Norman Rockwell I ever bought. And when my dad passed away, my mom gave me that mug, let me have that mug. And that was the very first piece of my collection that I started. And then I hadn't, really bought anything Norman Rockwell related. I did have a couple of pieces actually that I did get when I was married to my first husband, but unfortunately I didn't keep them. When we split up, I don't know what happened to them. But when my dad died, you know, my mom gave me this mug. And then when Todd and I got together and we moved in together, I started collecting again. Just little, you know, nonsense things. My mother gave me my first Norman Rockwell plate. And it was of a mom and her children. I think there's 3 or 4 children, all dressed up in their Sunday best, and they're walking through the living room towards the door with their little Bibles in their hands, and the dad is sitting in his chair with his newspaper and coffee, and the mother is almost giving him not giving him a judgy look, but just like walking past with the children. Come on, children, let's go to church and leave your father here. And so it was the cutest thing, and that was the very first plate that I got, and my mom gave it to me. And so that started my plate collection, my current plate collection. And then through the years with Todd, he and I have, you know, collected quite a few more plates, and also some posters, you know, not originals, but some pictures that we have hanging on our wall. I've gotten one for a gift from my sister-in-law, and just other, you know how you find just little odd knickknacks and such, and some more mugs and stuff like that. And my husband gave me some Christmas ornaments that were Norman Rockwell related back when we first started dating. And so I've just got a really beautiful collection of Norman Rockwell. And then when I came across this picture, I had to have it. And there's another picture that is out there that I think Diamond Grandma has it hanging in her craft room. And every time I watch her videos, I just go crazy over that picture, because it's a picture of a little boy who is sitting next to a police officer on a, back in the day, drugstores used to have soda fountains. That's what they used to call them, where you could sit and you can have a soda or an ice cream. And they're sitting at this counter, and there's the police officer sitting there next to this little boy, and it looks like the little boy was running away. He has his little hobo pack, you know, next to him, and the police officer is sitting there talking to him. And the guy behind the counter, he's standing there listening. And it's just the cutest picture. Well, the little boy in that picture, if anybody knows me and my family, if you ever saw my youngest son, Greg, you would swear that profile is Gregory. It is the funniest thing. I've always loved that picture, so that is going to be my next Norman Rockwell picture that I do, if I ever get around to getting it. They didn't have them the day that I got this one, or I would have gotten it, but they didn't have it, so I got this one. And that's fine, because this also has a story. And that is, when my dad was young, my dad grew up during the Depression. And when he was little, he went to elementary school, and marbles was a big, you know, one of the big games that they played on the school, in the schoolyard. And so he always used to tell me and my sister Judy that about going to school a little early and playing marbles. And he really didn't have too much time for play, because back in the Depression, you know, even little kids had to pull their own weight to try to support the family. And my dad grew up on a farm, and he would have to get up super early and go, you know, help milk the cows and get the day started for the farm. And then he'd go to school and come home and do his chores. Well, our dad, by the time he got to school, oh goodness, by the time he got to school, oh, I made a mess. There were days that he would fall asleep in class. Let me go ahead here. And so it was hard. He had a hard life growing up during the Depression. But he grew up to be a strong man and a great dad, a great guy. Here we go. Alright, let's continue on. So that's where my love of Norman Rockwell came from. Love it. I haven't really bought anything Norman Rockwell related. This is the last thing Norman Rockwell related I've gotten in a long time. I just, with, you know, with my home and everything, it's just more stuff to dust, and I'm really not feeling it anymore. So I guess my collection is pretty much complete the way I have it, which is fine with me. I don't need all the things Norman Rockwell related. I got a few things that mean the world to me, that mug being one of them, and several other pieces that mean a great deal to me. And that's all I need. My collection, in my heart, my collection is complete. And we're going to continue onward. So comment below, what projects are you working on today? This is just a little side thing that I'm doing just to try to finish this up, because I really want to hang it up so bad. And I happened to find it. I was picking up some stuff on a little side table near our front door, because Spoto is getting so big he can put his two front paws up and look at what's on that table. It's actually not a table, more like a bench, but anyway, it is a pretty high bench. But I had this painting and several other paintings sitting there, and I said, well, before he starts to get to that, let me take them and put them in a safe place. And it just so happens this was one of the paintings that was in there. And I looked at it and I said, oh, I don't have that much more to do on this painting. Let's go ahead and crank this out and get it done. So that's what we're doing. I figured I'd start working on it little by little. Get it worked on. Get it sealed. Get it hung. I have a little coffee area in my dining room, a little area that has a little coffee station, and in that area, that little coffee room, we have our I have my Norman Rockwell. I've got a beautiful little corner shelf that we have our little bits and bobs on, and then we have our plates hanging on the walls and our pictures hanging on the walls, and it's really pretty in that room. So I'm thinking if I have enough room on the wall, which I'm trying to think, I don't think I do. If I don't, then I'll hang it in my office, but if I do, then I'll hang it in that coffee area. But it'll get hung. Trust me on that. It will get hung. The sparkle on these diamond dot paintings is unlike any other diamond painting I've ever done. They are amazing. And it did come with an AB. As a matter of fact, the AB is peppered throughout the white areas on the painting, the white gray areas, so it really highlights them nicely. And I figured what we could do is try to work on one color at a time, and that'll be a quick little WIP and chat. Hang on just 1 second. Gonna have a bite of cereal. Trying to multitask. This is the only time I have to sit and concentrate on this particular picture. I have other projects going as well that I don't really want to dedicate time to other things, just that particular project. So that's why during my breakfast time it's the right time to work on this one, and I really want to get this one done. Well, my dad was in the Navy as well, so when I saw that mug in the drugstore display case, that's why I wanted to get it, because it was Navy related, and I just loved, even back when I was young, I just loved Norman Rockwell. My dream is to one day be able to go visit the Norman Rockwell Museum. Coming together really nice. Again, these diamonds, they sparkle. Honestly, I've seen usually the black drills. There's some kits where the black drills really sparkle nicely, but this kit, every single drill sparkles so beautifully. It is amazing. These diamond dots, they know how to do them. They know how to make them. Like I said, I got this one, I believe, at Joann's. And it was on sale, and I had a coupon, of course. There we go. So that part is done for that young man. Now I see here that there's a few of these dots here, over here, right around this area right here, just a few, not even 10 or 12. So we'll go ahead and fill those in as well. Because we're here, so we might as well. Like I said, this was just a little impromptu thing. I had my breakfast ready. I was going to come in here and sit and work on this and have my breakfast, and I thought, well, let's visit for a few. It's something different that I'm working on. Plus, this gets this project done and out of my to-do list. Because let's face it, some of us have to-do lists for these diamond paintings that are as long as our arm. There we go. Let's see if there's any more. I don't see any more of that particular color. Let me just lift this up to make sure. Nope. Okay. So, perfect. We'll go ahead and put that there. So friends, we were able to finish this one color here, the number 3. It was a dot on this young man's hair, and then filled in a little bit right here for this young man. And so I'm gonna actually, I just found some more right here, this young lady's hair. So let's go ahead and get that done, and then we'll call it a day. Let's go ahead and fill this in. There we go. and I'm going to finish up my breakfast and get my day started. But at least this is a start, you know? At least it's not going to continue to sit and collect dust without it being done. And there we go. And I'm going to save whatever drills I happen to have left. I will be saving them just in case any projects come up. Now, Diamond Dots has their own little codes that they use for their drills. I'm not sure if they have any like matching DMC numbers to them, but that doesn't matter to me. I'm just going to keep them in the little Ziploc bags that they're in, and oops, and just put them in my drill storage box that's for special drills and drills that do not have DMC codes. And if I ever need them, or if I want to work on a project that I might want to use these in, they'll be available. Whatever the project might be that I want to use them in, it's going to be a special project because these drills are amazing. And I apologize if you're hearing the noise in the background. I have my computer going. I have my fan going. It's like 1,000,000 degrees here in Middle Tennessee today. And I turned my computer on before I even went out and got my breakfast, not even realizing I was going to do this. And, well, I'm not going to bother to turn my computer off just to have to turn it back on again. So, I apologize if you hear the running of the fans on the fan and the computer, but that is that. It's only temporary. I am counting the minutes until autumn gets here. I can't stand it. It's been so hot. You will never hear me complain about the cold. Trust me on that. You know, if I get cold, I can always layer up more layers. Plus, I have a pretty decent layer going on myself, if you know what I mean. But in the summertime, when you get down to what God gave you, your birthday suit, and you got nothing else and you're sweating, no thank you. That's not for me. That is not for me. I get cranky in the hot weather. At least crankier than I normally am. I'm doing the best I can with lining them up because I'm working on a flat surface, and normally I put my diamond paintings on a light pad and have the light pad on a stand where it tilts towards me. But both my light pads and stands are being used. So we're working with what we have. We're going to make it work. It's going to look beautiful. I'm already in love with it. There we go. Alright, let's do one more scan here. Oh, I still have a few over here. Just about 6 of them. And I don't know why I stopped working on this. I guess I got bored at some point and I was just like, I'm going to put this away. And I do that sometimes. I'll put a project away and then, you know, a bit of time will go by and I'll be like, well, let me see if I want to work on this one again. And I'll drag it out and start working on it. Well, that's what it was with this one. There we go. I do believe we are done with that color officially. Perfect. Okay. Excellent. So my friends, this is the picture. It is upside down. Sorry about that, but I'm not going to turn it right side up. You'll see in the thumbnail the picture the correct way. But this is what I'll be working on just every so often. I'm not going to, you know, this isn't going to be one of my regular projects. This will be something that I work on. It's going to be done fairly soon, but it's not going to be something that I'm going to set everything else aside and put down and do. Because I do have another project that I'm working on that I really want to get done first. Anyway, we're all set for today with this little whip and chat. I want to thank you so much for joining in, and if you are a current subscriber, thank you so much. If you've not yet subscribed, please consider doing so. Please go ahead and leave me that thumbs up and the like button. Please hit that like button, because I'm a small crafty fish in a great big crafty pond, and every single like helps out so much. My little channel is growing. I see it growing literally every day, and it's because of you all, and I can't thank you all enough. Please, friends, take care of yourselves. Watch out for your friends, your family, your neighbors. Please be the voice for all of those animals, as they don't have one. And until I see you all again, God bless. Have a great day. Goodbye now.